Good morning and welcome everybody, AANA members and guests.
I wondered whether this was a just war. Who would tell their mothers why their sons are killed, and daughters nowadays? And that was the critical lesson for me, a just cause before you take any soldier into harm's way. Team building, huge privilege, the most important thing that people can do as leaders. And of course, the most enjoyable. I had 450 Irish Hussars, 200 people had to join us. It was very important that I met every one of them when they arrived, and I spoke to them about these things. And in my view, a leader, a boss, has to get his message right down to the bottom, and don't do it via emails and texts and tweets. Do it by talking to everybody right down to the bottom end so that they know what your key message is.
I couldn't have come down and spoken to you guys about how to innovate 3 or 4 years ago, because 3 or 4 years ago, it wasn't marketing's job. And I think now we've cracked a process where I feel like I'm ready to come and share it with people and it'd be useful for people. If you work in human resources, it's about how to train people in different ways. I think people think innovation just means doing things differently. And it doesn't. To us, innovation is really simple. It's about finding new commercial growth opportunities, and that can be from an asset that exists within a business already, or from a new audience that you go after, or a new occasion, a new trend, or forming a partnership, and then filling that opportunity with a product, a service, or proposition that drives a new revenue stream. So marketing was seen in this sort of disparaging, inferior way, and that has all changed. And this is the best time to be in marketing, because marketing is now at the beating heart of the company. Yes, still massively important to lead comms, media, direct digital, but now marketing is in charge of the customer. Who is our customer today? Who is our customer tomorrow is now owned by marketing. And if you own the customer, you own the strategy. So who are they? How are we going to get them? And part of the how is innovation. What products, services and propositions are we going to create to get these new customers and ultimately drive growth?
I now, as Sherilyn said, have been involved in leadership for quite some time. And I love it and I'm passionate about it and we make a difference to lots of lives. But let me just tell you that 22 years ago, at the age of 50, I was in a very bad space because my marriage had just fallen apart. My second son had just died at the age of 26. I was teaching management and leadership and realized that I knew absolutely sod all about leadership, even though I was teaching it. So what do I see as the difference between leadership and management? And let me give you what for me is the difference in the definition. Outstanding managers drive people to perform at the highest level they're capable of. And it's very much about control. Outstanding leaders inspire them to do it for themselves. And it's more about freedom. And I began to think, hang on a minute. Could this be why so much training doesn't stick? It's not sustainable. Do people see themselves as two different people? One for work and one for home. Could this make the difference if I can bring the two halves together? So what you can actually say is that their thinking created a day in their life. And if your thinking can create a day, can it create two? Can it create a week? Can it create a month, a year, a lifetime? Is it actually the circumstances outside of us that create our life, or is it our thinking? What is it? Because I'd suggest to you that our thinking creates our reality, which means change your thinking, change your life. The biggest gift you can give anybody is helping them take ownership for their lives and their own decisions, because you're helping them grow every time you do it. Ben talked about innovation. If you keep telling people what to do, how are you going to grow innovation underneath you? It's not possible, because you've educated them that you're so darn good at doing what you do that they don't need to think for themselves.